Hi, good morning guys, thanks for joining me. Hope everyone's well, hope you've all had a lovely Christmas, all received the things that you wanted to get. So what I thought to do in today's video, I've just basically come out just to get a bit of fresh air, just keep myself away from that mince pie cupboard. But whilst I was out, I thought I'd talk about this brute of a pack here, and basically answer a couple of the questions which seem to be coming up quite frequently, which is about the tarp, and also about this jacket. So we just start off and take a look at the jacket. This one is made by a company called No3. It's a Scandinavian company. I'm not sure if they come from Norway or Denmark, somewhere like that. And the jacket itself, this is 80% wool, 20% core jewellery. It's absolutely bomb-proof, there's no holes in it. You know, it's very hard to rip if you do have open fires. You know, there's no burn holes in it, that kind of thing. And like I mentioned to people, I've had this one now for around about 20 years. And I think when this was first new, No3 were more known for their outdoor wear, that kind of thing. Very similar to Timberland and Carhartt, them kind of makes. They do a lot of fashion stuff as well, but like I say, this one here was one of the outdoor wear. So like I say, very warm, very hard wearing. One single pocket just up the top here, which I do like. Quite a nice sized pocket just inside there. I've just got a belt knife which I'll pop on in a second, my mobile phone and just my car keys. And I do like having a pocket up at the top end here on these smocks. It just means then if you've got a lumber strap or a waist belt on a rucksack, if you've got things in these pockets you can just move them up to the top and everything's out of the way. I can't remember the price of this, like I said, I've had it now for around about 20 years. I'm not sure if they still make this style of jacket anymore or not, but I think when he had it, it was around about £200 then, you know, so I'm not sure, you know, how much you'd pay for them now. So like I say, you know, a very comfortable jacket. Single zipper that just runs up the side there, just to make it just a little bit easier to take on and off. And also when you're sitting down, it just means you can open that up and it just makes a bit of a flap there for you. Two hand warming pockets, nice firm lined just on the inside there. And a pull cord just to draw everything up, just retain a little bit more of that body heat. And then the hood, it's got a nice large size hood. Again with a couple of pull cords here so that we can just actually tighten everything up again, just to make sure that we're not losing too much body heat. And then just on top of the hood itself, there's a couple of adjusters there so that you can actually bind the hood just so it tightens up just around the head. The last thing you want in these kind of jackets is when you're walking and talking that you're looking and your vision's restricted. The idea behind that is to fasten this hood so that when you turn your head everything is coming together. And then just at the front here, just another little fasten there just to reduce the wind which is going to start coming into the jacket. So for those of you again, you know, which wanted to ask about the jacket, hope that's been a little bit of help. Like I say, this one is made by No3. You can go on their website and check out all the stuff that they've got. And for those of you which asked about the tarp, this tarp here is a DD tarp. The size of it is 3x3, so a little bit bigger than the one which I tend to use, which is the Aqua Quest. So that being said, I did go for a thinner fabric just to keep the weight something relatively the same. Plenty of tagging points or pegging points on them. I think it's around about 19 on this one. And the colour of this is Coyote Brown. You can get them in black, you can get them in OD green. And when you do buy these, they do come with pegs, they come with some guy lines, that kind of thing, but I've actually just left them in the bag back in the house. And when I did buy this one, I think I paid around about £40 for it. But there was a few issues with it, and when you do get issues with things, in my opinion, this proves that the company's a good company to deal with or not. And the main issue when I first opened the tarp up was a series of small holes which run around the perimeter. Now the holes themselves are all a similar kind of shape, it's all like a diamond shape, which is telling me, you know, with them all being a similar kind of part of the fabric, or the holes being the same kind of shape, that these holes were probably in the fabric prior to being made out into the tarp. Now I've had enough experience in the retail game of selling tents, tarps and all that stuff over the years, and I've seen these problems before. But when I got in touch with DD about the issue, they sent me this tape over. They told me there wasn't anything else that they could do about it. You know, in my opinion, they could have replaced it. You know, these kind of things are probably costing the company around about £5 or £10 maximum. You know, as a tarp itself, you know, if it's only going to cost me around about £40, you know, to make them, again, it's only going to cost them a couple of pounds. So again, you know, a little bit disappointed in the end result, but they did say to me, if it was to fall and rip, you know, perhaps through to wind, that kind of thing, that they'd take another look at it and perhaps do something about it. But because the holes weren't in the places where I'm likely to get wet, they declined to do anything basically, you know, and just said put up with it and just take it out and just see what happens. And that just brings me on to this beast of a pack here. This is the Frost River No3 old canoe pack. Again, another item which I purchased from the Bushcraft store. They were selling these off cheap. I think I paid around about £120 for it instead of around about £200. Not the style I was looking for in particular, but for the cost, you know, I couldn't thought I could turn it down. You know, I understand it's not going to float everybody's boat. For those of you that like lightweight packs, internal frames, external frames, that kind of thing, this one here is basically just a canvas bag with shoulder straps. And just inside at the moment, I just thought I'd load it up like I say, just to give myself a little bit of exercise. And what I've got in here at the moment is all the stuff which I could use on an overnighter, you know, even multiple nights, just as long as I've got a bit more food and perhaps a bit more water. So the overall size of this, I will show you when it's empty, just so you can see just the true dimensions. It's 26 inches high, around about 28 inches wide, and that's giving you the overall total capacity there, around about 80 litres. So again, you know, for overnighters, multiple nighters, that kind of thing, it's going to be absolutely perfect for. And one thing which drew me to it was the traditional leather work. The shoulder straps are made out of bridle leather, I think it's around about 3 or 4 mil, something like that. And then just on the outside of it, you've got a nice section of buckskin there, with a nice padded inlay just on the inside. I'm not sure if it's memory foam, but there's certainly, you know, quite a bit of support and comfort there. The shoulder straps themselves, just with time, these will get a lot more comfortable. They'll break in just like a pair of walking boots would do. You can actually just break the leather in. You could put something like mink oil on it, perhaps something like that, just to supple it up. Or like I say, you know, over time, this is going to get a lot more comfortable. How it's actually been constructed, it's all leather, stitching and rivets. Again, so if any of these to pop out, any problems, I'm sure you could repair them. You could use something like nuts and bolts, that kind of thing. And as long as you've got enough strong thread, or perhaps just a patch, again, if you were to rip this, burn it, wherever it may be, it's going to be a lot more easy to repair than perhaps one of them technical rucksacks that are made out of the modern technical fabrics. Just whilst we've got the back of the pack just facing the camera, I'll just show you what's on the back of it. It does come with a waist strap or a lumbar strap, and again, this is canvas leather with a good heavy duty brass buckle on it. And again, it's not like one of them technical rucksacks where this is going to be taking the weight. It's just to stop the pack just from bouncing a little bit as it is that you're walking. And then just to take a bit of weight off, it's got one of the very traditional tump lines. When you're weighing the pack, you can actually just put that just on your forehead, and that'll stop the pack from dropping back, and also take just a bit of that weight off your shoulders just from the straps. And then just on the front of it, everything's fastened down and cinched down just with these leather straps, again around about 3 or 4 mil bridle leather, very good quality leather, and it's all riveted and stitched to the canvas and then fastened with these brass buckles here at the bottom, again, which have been riveted just by using these big thick strong rivets down here. Now the weight of the fabric that they've used, it is an 18-ounce canvas, so it is an heavy canvas, and just underneath along the base here they've doubled it up, obviously making that a 36-ounce, and again perfect for kayaking, canoeing, like I'm going to do in the summertime. I'm off up to Scotland. I did a trip up there, must be going back around about 20 years ago, and I spent a few months up there, so I've got something planned very, very similar. So I'm looking for an heavy duty pack, something that's going to keep the water out, certainly if I'm in a boat and you've got the waves lashing over the sides, because that's the beauty about these envelope style packs, is when that's fastened down, that this fabric here can pretty much wrap around the side and stop any water coming in. Plus all the stuff which is inside I do keep in dry bags anyway, you know, so that's no real big deal. So what we got here is one main compartment, and at the front here we've got a little map pocket. No map in it at the moment, just all the small items which you want to get to, you know, pretty much straight away. So we'll just start off with this small little pocket here and just run through the small items. I've actually shown these in past videos, so we'll just run through these quite quickly. So a little seat mat there by Forehaven, that actually just folds down just into quarters, so you can just keep it just in the cargo pocket of a pair of pants. Spool of bank line, or the remainder of a spool of bank line. This is what I use today, just so I've got the tarp set up. Good old faithful tea bags and sugar. Small little saw, little pocket boy, so you know, fire lighting, shelter building and the likes, always worth carrying. A couple of little sticks there of fat wood, and then just in the bottom here I carry another little canvas bag with all the small little items in. So things like chem lights, a little bottle there just for spirits, for the spirit burner, spare batteries, head torch, water filter, wire, repair kit. Here's an handy little item. This is a little bivy lamp. You can actually use these just on the inside of the tarp. And it's just got a magnet just on one side with the steel plate just on the other, and you just place the plate just on the outside. That'll just connect to there, and that'll just hang just on the inside, like say, your bivy or your tarp. And again, just using it in conjunction with the chem lights, just give me just a little bit of light around camp. And then just going over to the bigger section. First aid kit, that's always going to come with me, you know, certainly, you know, if I'm just out for the day, or whether I'm out for a night or, you know, 2 nights, wherever it may be. Just a cup and bag. Just a large dry bag here. These dry bags, these are AquaQuest dry bags, made out of the same fabric as what the AquaQuest tarps are made out of. So an heavy duty waterproof fabric. And this is basically my sleep system. Just just got a mat there, self-inflating mat. I do carry an hammock with me, whether I'm going to use it or not. It just means I've got the option there. And then just in the bottom of here is a snug pack, which is the Elite 3 sleeping bag. Very good sleeping bag. Fire lighting kit. That should have been in the little pocket there. It's obviously just dropped down in the big section. So everything there, you know, magnesium bar, ferro rod, you know, spare lighter, a little bit of fat wood scrape down, all that kind of stuff. It's all kept just in that little pouch there. And then I've got just another smaller version of the AquaQuest dry bag. I think this one's a 10 litre bag. And this tends to be my food bag, or my cooking bag, that kind of thing. So I've got a pot. This is the Zebra Billy can. I can't quite remember, I think it might be the 10 or the 12 centimetre. And then just inside there with a spork, cigarette lighter, and just a cloth just to dry and clean things with. Food bag, you know, a bit of rice, MREs, you know, that kind of stuff. Easy cooking, easy living. And then just on the bottom of there, it's just a wash bag, spare clothing, with a little bag in again, you know, toiletries, toothpaste, paracetamols and all that kind of stuff. And then just at the bottom there, just an axe. I think this is a 21 inch, this is the Hunter's axe, the Ultifist Classic. Purchased this again pretty much in the summertime, used it around about a dozen times, absolutely awesome axe. Made a bit of a collar for it, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on or take it off. I do like to use the axe with my hand just up the top end there, but you know, I do find that extra width is just a little bit too wide just for the grip. So I may keep it on, may take it off, but at the moment, like I say, I'm just going to keep it on and just see how it performs. And that's pretty much the pack empty. What you'll notice here just at the back, because there's no back support in it, and because you have got, you know, quite a thin canvas back really, anything that's going to be poking through will poke through and poke you in the back. So basically just cut up just a little bit of roll mat there and just slid it down, and that's going to stop anything from actually digging through the pack and digging into me back. And like I say, just about all the fixtures and fittings, as you notice there, everything that's fastened in, you know, the shoulder straps and all that stuff again is all reinforced on the inside with these rivets, and again another thick leather inlay, and again with all the shoulder straps and everything else, it's all repeated with this thicker leather and rivets just on the inside. So like I say, this is an envelope style pack, and if you look at it empty like so, it is basically just shaped just like an envelope. And again, if it is that you want to pack them away once your stuff's out, unlike a traditional pack which retains its shape when it's empty, with these kind of things you can just roll them up and you basically just compact down to nothing, and you just push them out of the way until they're needed. So as you can see now, I've laid everything out on the top, that the rucksack does all quite a bit of stuff, and in all fairness I'd perhaps say it was only half full, perhaps 3/4 at the most. So in all realistic terms, if I wanted to use a wool blanket in conjunction with the sleeping bag, there's certainly enough room in the pack to carry one of those. And again, if it was that you're going away for a few nights and you need more food, more water, again, there's certainly enough room in the pack. Like I said at the beginning, it is basically just a canvas bag with leather straps, so don't expect 100% comfort like you would do with a very technical hiking pack. But again, you know, if you're just looking for durability, if you're looking for a good quality bag to carry all your stuff in, and you know, these Frost River packs, you know, you can't really go wrong with. Well guys, that's it for this one. Hope that's answered a few of the questions, a few people who asked about the jacket and also the tarp here. If those of you which may be interested in the traditional pack like this old canoe pack, hope that's been a little bit of help. And if you guys are going to go out over the new year, hope you have a great time, behave yourselves, don't get yourself in any kind of trouble. I'm not sure if there's going to be a video leading up to that time point, but if not, I'll be back early in January. We could nip back over to Wales, just have a look in them woods. There's plenty of stuff we can be doing, there's fly fishing, shooting. I've got quite a few other reviews, overnighters and all that other kind of stuff. So like always guys, I'll just leave and say thanks a lot for you stopping by and watching the video. Have a great new year. Until then, I'll see you again.